Om Namah Shivaya, Asinist Fire, here on the way of Dharma. Now, before we continue, please make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe if you are a new subscriber, and welcome to the channel. It's been a while since we've spoken, and I'm glad to bring you the good news that I am back. In today's topic, we'll be talking about the 9 planets of Hinduism and how they influence us, okay, and our physiology and our spirituality, and so on, so forth. Asinist Fire here on the way of Dharma. So now let's continue. Everything around us influences how we live, influences our vocabulary, which in turn influences how we mold our life. Everything and everyone around us influences us and our future in a certain way. So now, specifically today, we are speaking and talking about the subject of the 9 planets in Hinduism, also known as the Navagraha. Nava means 9 and Graha means planets. The 9 planets of Hinduism. We have these planets in Hinduism, namely Lord Surya, which is the sun, Lord Chandra, which is the moon, Lord Kuja or Skanda, or what's the other name? Yes, it's Kuja, Skanda, and then there's another name for Mars, which I'm forgetting right now. And there's also Buddha, which is Wednesday. Lord Mars is for Tuesday, and then there's Buddha for Wednesday, and there's Guru, the one who initiates, the one who brings luck, and then there's Venus, which is also known as, in Hinduism, also known as Shukra, Lord Shukracharya, Lord Shukra. And then for Saturday, we have Lord Shanicharaya. I've just read something right now about karma, which says that you may be powerful today, but tomorrow you may not. So time is the master, and make sure that you don't wrong anyone in any way, shape, or form. But yes, so now let's talk more in depth about these planets and how they influence us. Oh, I've also forgotten to mention Rahu and Ketu, which are the 2 lunar nodes. Thus completes the 9 planets of Hinduism. Okay. So, in a book I've read, it speaks of the sun having so much influence on our planet, which is the Earth. It has so much influence, and it has so many advantageous benefits that we derive from the sun. The sun takes care of our crops. The sun is responsible for our weather. The sun is responsible for our health. The sun is responsible for magical strength and etc. The moon, okay, the sun is also responsible for the energy that we use during the day. Then there's the moon. Okay, before going into the moon, it is said that the sun has so much influence on our planet to a point whereby when there's certain sun cycles or certain behavior of the sun, it can influence even the culture and the fashion of the time whereby the sun was doing that kind of behavior. Take for instance, now we are approaching a solar cycle, we are in a solar cycle. And then there's solar sun flares of consciousness, which are being sent to our planet for 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 helping in raising the planet's vibration. Okay, so there's that. There's also the sun, according to its placement, is responsible for the fashion of the era, how people would wear, and their confidence at the time, and so many other things which are not mentioned. The sun has that much of an influence. On a cosmic scale, the sun also acts as an exchanging object of information. It receives information from other planets and other beings in those planets, and it also sends information to those planets, and it contributes on raising the consciousness of the planet and the people in the planet. There's also this aspect of the sun that it is responsible for male energy, the yang energy, the external energy, the energy of movement, and mainly energy. I don't want to say homeostasis because I don't know what the word means. Okay, so now we go deeper into the other planets. There's the moon. The moon is responsible for psychic purposes. It's responsible for the inner spiritual energy that we have. It is responsible for the yin force, the feminine nature. It is responsible for our moods and our calmness and our temperament. The sun also helps in our moods, basically. But the feminine side of life is largely influenced by the moon. Okay, in the Navagraha, the moon isn't depicted as a female, but definitely the moon is a feminine energy. It's responsible for magic, magical workings. It's responsible for spiritual affairs. And then there's the Lord Mars, Kuja, or Skanda. I forgot the other one. Mangala, yes, Mangala. Mangalaya Buddhaya Cha, yes, Mangala, which is Mars. Mars is responsible for warfare, energy, passion, vitality, and anger, temper, justice, and the conquering of enemies. Then we have Buddha. Buddha means intellect. It's responsible for intellectual power. It is the planet Mercury. Responsible for communication and responsible for higher vibrations of thought and clear intent and clear thinking. Also, we have Guru, which is also known as Jupiter. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Yes, Jupiter is responsible for our luck, for our growth, for our initiation into the higher arts of occultism and wisdom. Then we have Lord Shukracharya, or Shukra, Lord Venus. Lord Venus is responsible for our relationships, both marriage and both interpersonal relationships, meaning how we get along with other people and how other people get along with us, our communication with our loved ones, and the art of human relations, and also responsible for passion, sexual passion, also responsible for desire, which is karma and such affairs, and for attraction, of course. And then we have Lord Shanicharaya, Saturn. Saturn is responsible for death, responsible for time, responsible for karma, not karma, karma. Responsible for karma, responsible for justice, responsible for balance. Lord Shanicharaya, a malefic planet. If you have a placement, a wrong placement of Saturn in your birth chart, you may experience so many challenges in many aspects of your life. Okay, then we have Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are also responsible for spirituality, and they can be hindrances to your spiritual growth, and they are responsible for higher offices or higher posts in life. If you want to attain to a higher post, a higher aspiration in life, you have to get your Rahu and Ketu properly appeased in your birth chart. So, in Hinduism, to appease, or rather to make sure that we align with the forces of the planet peacefully, we have remedies for the situation. We have mantras, and we have a puja, we have offerings, we have certain clothing that you can wear to make sure that you are in harmony with those planet or Navagraha forces. You understand? For Lord Surya, the sun, we have a mantra. We also have a sequence of asanas, which is known as Surya Namaskara, meaning sun adorations or sun salutations. Surya Namaskara. We also have mantra to appease Surya, and we also have certain colors to make sure that we appease Lord Surya. Lord Surya, when appeased, gives one health, gives one prosperity, gives one glamour, gives one fame, gives one willpower and magical power. The mantra for Lord Surya, the mantras are thus: Hraim, Hram, Hrim, Hraha, and there's also Om, Sum, Suryaya Namaha, and there's also Om, Hram, Hrim, Hraum, Saha, Suryaya Namaha. There's that, and there's also other mantras which are lengthy. Surely you guys have heard of Surya Namaskara. Surya Namaskara is a sun salutation with chairs, which is comprised of yoga poses that you do to strengthen your solar energy, to appease the Lord Surya, which is also Lord Sun. Sorry for picking my nose while I'm speaking with you. Almost said while I'm speaking to you, foes. Nose foes, rhyming. So yes, let us go into Lord Chandra or Lord Moon. Lord Moon is responsible for beauty, responsible for psychic power, responsible for bliss, and responsible for calmness. And also I've forgotten what Lord Chandra is also responsible for. Ways to appease Lord Chandra would be to chant the mantras of Lord Chandra. Also, there's a salutation or a sequence of asanas or poses which you can perform to appease your moon. And there's also pranayama to appease the moon. There's also pranayama to appease the sun, Surya Beda or Surya Bedha, or yes, Surya Pranayam. And there's also Chandra Pranayam, or it's Chandra Pranayam, Chandra Bedha, and also what there's another name for it. Let's say Chandra Pranayam, the Chandra type of breathing. Chandra Namaskara is the name for the sequences of the moon adoration. Moon practices are not to be practiced by mere curious people, because too much moon energy, too much spiritual energy may lead to potential dangers. So there's also that. The mantras to appease Lord Chandra: Shram, Shrim, Shraim, Shraha, and there's also Om Chandraya Namaha, and there's also Om Shram, Shrim, Shraum, Saha, Chandramase Namaha. Yes, there's that. There's another lengthy mantra for appeasing Lord Chandra. Now let's go to the next Graha, which is Mangala or Kuja or Skanda. Skanda is responsible for warfare, victory over enemies, conquering of enemies, vitality, the blood, the health of the blood, the courage and inspiration to defeat, or the drive or the passion required for warfare. And if you can check, most of the devas, the devis and the devata, which are for this purpose of warfare and conquering of enemies, are related to the energy of Kujaya, of Kuja, Mars. Hanumanji is also a Mars deity. And there's also Durga, which is also known as Skandamata, the mother of Skanda, mother of Mars. Yes. And there's also Baglamukhi, related to the planet or the Graha Mangala. I don't know if there's asanas to appease Mars, but I do know that there's mudras for Mars. I do know that also that Ganesha is also related to Mars, and there's Ganesha's brother, which is Kartikeya, the one for conquering in war, is also responsible for the planet Mars, or embodies the energy of the planet Mars. I don't know if there's sun salutation. I don't know if there's salutation asanas for Mars, but there's mantras to appease Mars. There's offerings that you can give to appease Mars and the planets that I've mentioned before. The mantra for Kujaya Namaha is Om Kram Krim Kraum Saha Bhaumaya Namaha. And there's also Om Kujaya Namaha. And there's also Kram Krim Kraum Krum, Graha, Kujaya Namaha, and there's another lengthy mantra. Those Kram, Krim, Kraim are just Bija mantras for Mars. And the Haram, Haraim are Bija mantras for Lord Surya. So to conquer enemies, you would need the Graha, Kuja or Mangala, Mars. And then let's move. We move to Buddha. Buddha, the intellect, Mercury, the planet Mercury, in Western astrology. Buddha is responsible for our intellect, for our thought processes, for our communication, and our mind power. Buddhaya Namaha. Yes, to appease Lord Buddha, you chant those mantras. There's also Lord Guru, Jupiter, in Western astrology. Jupiter gives you growth, initiates you into the higher spiritual practices, and is the guru of all. Om Guruve Namaha. I don't know if there's asanas for appeasing Lord Guru, but there sure is a mantra or mantras that you can chant. The Bija mantras are as follows: Gram, Graim, Grum, Graha, and there's Om, Gram, Grim, Graum, Saha, Guruve Namaha, and there's also Om, Shri Guruve Namaha. Yes, there's also Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Yes, those mantras would be the ones you chant, and many more to appease, or to rather pacify, the malefic effects of the planet Jupiter in your life. Now we move on to another planet, which is Lord Shukra. Lord Shukra is responsible for relationships, human relations, control of the mind. Let me fix something. Don't want it to go blank on me, man. Yes, human relations, and also control of your mind, control over your desires, and the many other properties of the planet Venus: wealth, pleasure, desires, karma. Mahalakshmi is also the deity ruling over Lord Shukra. Kama Deva is another one over Shukra. Kamadeva is very, very powerful, guys. Before chanting Kamadeva's mantra, you should know that you are ready to be in love with the person. I have a love story that almost nyammed me because of the use of Kamadeva's powerful mantras. And I'm happy that I got through that. It's been a tough year for me because of such practices of Tantra. But yes, even now I'm still trying to heal from it. And I feel anger towards that person. I hope that this one goes down very well and I get to maintain my shanti within before I can replace the love spell with something dangerous. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So now we move into Lord Shanicharaya or Shani, Saturn, the planet Saturn. Saturn is a teacher that gives you a hard lesson. Saturn is like Mahakali. Saturn is the god of death, the god of time, and the ruler of justice and karma. Saturn is responsible for teaching people about karma, for teaching people that they are really nothing, for teaching people about death. And we've been on a Saturn retrograde. Anyway, I will not say more. But the effects of Saturn, according to me, are the worst you can ever experience from the malefic planets. Yes, mantras to appease Lord Shani would be Pram, Praim, Praum, Praha, and there's also Om, Sham, Shanicharaya Namaha, and there's also Om Pram Prim Praum Saha, Shanicharaya Namaha. Yes, I have a story with Lord Shani, not a darshan, of course. Lord Shani helped me with improving my luck last year, and I was able to get a job. It was Lord Shani and Lord Kuja Mangala. Both those mantras and both those yagnas helped me a lot with improving my luck last year. The person that I was telling you about earlier, the encounter with Kamadeva, tells me that I can't get a job for myself via magical ways. But I did something for her magically. She tells me that because of my inability to do such, I'm a low life. Okay, it's fine. Last year, 2021, I was working a job, and at that job, I didn't even apply, I didn't even send forth a CV. I was summoned, like, hey, don't you want a position at the job? I didn't apply for the job, and I faced a lot of hatred from the employees that were working over there because I got a position that was far better than theirs. So this person claims that I can't get a job for myself. I don't thrive on working jobs. I'd rather go outside and sell ice than thrive on a job currently while I work on my things that would be suitable for me and my future. So the person, if you see this, just know that why certain things are the way they are in life and stop being stupid. Anyway, let's continue. Lord Saturn, that's my story with Lord Saturn, Shani. There's also Rahu and Ketu. I don't know which of those two. The other one would be responsible for the fear of snakes and would be responsible for connecting with the Nagas and the draconian energy. I forgot. But you appease those two, you get a better life. And the other is responsible for spirituality. If you have a placement in your birth chart which favors those two, you are likely to be a spiritual person and you will be interested in learning the higher arts of spirituality. So with that being said, the mantras for those two. For man, for Rahu, it's Brahm, it's BH, Brahm, Bhrim, Braum, Saha, Rahave Namaha. And then for Ketu, I think it's Sram, Srim, Sraum, Saha, Ketave Namaha. Yes, those be the mantras that you can chant to appease or to pacify the malignant placement of those planets in I life. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank you for your support, helping me to get this channel this far, just over 600 subscribers. Thank you. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everyone who backs I and everyone who showed love to I. And I hope I do get through this, and I hope it doesn't get bloody because, yeah, for some reasons, yeah. So, thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and sharing to those of you who did. Thank you very much. I really am grateful, and I really am appreciative of you guys. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. Those be the breakdown of the 9 planets in Hinduism, the Navagraha, and how they influence our life and physiology here on planet Prithvi. Om Prithvi Hey Namaha. Om. Before we leave, let me chant for peace. Om Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Mahavidvishavahai. Om Shanti. Shanti. Shanti.